Alright, so we've made a super fast shoe using a technique that creates a beveled inner edge to accommodate a pour-in pad. So there's another video if you want to learn what that technique is. But there are times when we're doing a pour-in pad when we want something softer up front and something firmer in the rear portion of the foot. And that's very easy to do, and so we call that a half and half pour. So the way that we do that is, first we need to identify what level we want of front versus back, and of course it's most likely just about half of the foot. And so we'll just lay our ruler on here. It doesn't matter if you get it exactly straight, but we'll lay that on there, and then we're going to draw a line on the shoe, and we want to carry that onto the wall a little bit because we're going to cover up that line, and we're going to need to know where that line is. So once we've got that line identifying where we want the front fill versus the back half, we can lay this foam board on, and mark now on the foam board where that point is. So if we position this, we find that mark, and we mark the edge of the foam board. And again, this line doesn't have to be perfectly straight. So now we've got a line here as our reference point. And now all we have to do is score this. So we're actually not cutting all the way through this foam board. We're only cutting through about half of it, or literally just scoring it. Okay? Now we've created a hinge. All right? So we can position this on the foot. And position this on the foot on that line, or approximately on that line. And now we can fill the front half of the foot with one material, let that set, and then fill the back half with another material as we fold up the hinge. So let's take a look at how that works. All right, so the one thing that we of course have to remember is we have to dry the foot when we're doing this. It's very important. It's probably the most important step to dry this. Now, since this is on a model, we're not going to do that, but remember that we've got to dry that sole and that frog area. So we're just going to inject the soft material into the front half of the foot, bring it up to about the form. Now we'll let that set for about 30 or 40 seconds, and as long as we flow the other material in fairly soon after this is set, the two will bond to each other quite well. So in the back half we're going to use copper sulfate, Equi-Pak, since that's the most likely application for a thrushy foot. We want to fill the front half with Equi-Pak, the back half with Equi-Pak CS. So once we start injecting the Equi-Pak CS, as it starts to fill, we need to fold this up. And again, we're going to fill it most of the way, and we'll finish the fill by pressing on the foam board to make sure we push out all the air bubbles. Not that there are many air bubbles in there, but if there is one, we'll be able to press it out of there. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes, and so we're ready to remove this foam board, which we will, as we always do, remove at the heels, roll it off, and you'll probably get the back half off first, and then we'll peel the front half. All right, so now we've got something soft up front and something firmer, or in this case for thrush treatment, in the back. So that's the half and half pour, easily done by making a hinge out of a foam board.